What's up, my peeps? It is now time for the Survivor Series 2014 results/highlights and review video. I'll go over the results, some of the highlights in my opinion, and give you guys my thoughts and my review on the show. So it starts off with the kickoff, the pre-show, and the panel this time is Renee Young, Booker T, Paul Heyman, and Alex Riley. They talk about the matches, hype them up, and the first match is Justin Gabriel versus a returning Fandango, and Fandango now has a new theme song. He's got a new dancer with him as well. It's Rosa Mendez, and he's wrestling in a shirt. So anyways, Fandango ends up winning his return match with the leg drop from the top turnbuckle, and then after the match, he's like doing this pose, and Rosa Mendez is like circling him, so going around him. And after that, we get a backstage segment with Miz and Mizdow. Of course, as always, Mizdow is mimicking the Miz and talking like the Miz, except this time he's got like a mirror, not really a mirror, but like a canvas or the contour of a mirror right in front of his face. And so the Miz is talking, and of course Mizdow is mimicking him. And the Miz says that since Damien Mizdow is an image of him, then a victory for them is essentially a victory for the Miz. And then Mizdow, of course, is, trying to mimic the Miz, and at some point, I guess he messes up and he nods. So the Miz says, and I didn't nod. And then he puts his glasses on, and Mizdow also puts his glasses on. And that ends the promo or the segment. And then after that, we get the return of Bad News Barrett. He goes ahead, talks about the Team Cena versus Team Authority matchup. He brings up the stipulation: if Team Cena loses, then they're all fired except for Cena himself. So he says that's all well and good for Cena, but he's got some bad news for John Cena. And it's that even though Cena, might not get fired if his team loses, the Authority is going to make Cena's life a living hell if he does lose. And then he delivers some bad news for the Authority. He brings up how they said if they're no longer in charge, then the WWE is going to be lost. He says no, it's not going to be lost because it's going to be in the era, I guess, of Bad News Barrett. And that was it for Bad News Barrett's return. After that, we get Cesaro, who says that the Swiss have always been neutral. And then he says for Team Cena versus Team Authority, he's also going to be neutral, but he does what's best for business, and for that reason, he's going to go ahead and support Team Authority. And then after that, Jack Swagger and Zeb Colter come out, and Zeb Colter pretty much tells Cesaro that he's kissing Triple H's ass. He says he's a brown noser, and then Swagger and Cesaro proceed to have a matchup. And during the match, Cesaro hits a bunch of German suplex. It was almost like, the Brock Lesnar versus Cena match, or the two matches they had. Anyways, he hit like 6, 7, maybe 8 German suplexes. But in the end, Swagger locks in the Patriot lock. He got it on, I think, 2 times in the matchup, but Cesaro got out of the first one. But anyways, in the end, he locks it on once again, and Cesaro gets close to the ropes, but Swagger pulls him back in the middle of the ring, and Cesaro ends up tapping out, so Jack Swagger wins. After that, we see a limo arriving at the arena, and it ends up being Vince McMahon. Once he comes out from the limo, that gets a big pop. And also, something I forgot is Tom Phillips interviewed AJ, and she talked about, them dressing up, and that the time for dressing up is over, referring to her dressing up as Nikki and Brie dressing up as AJ. She says that playtime is over. But anyways, that was it for the kickoff after Vince McMahon came out from the limo. And then for the actual show, it starts off with Vince McMahon coming out. And he goes ahead and introduces, by the way, he says that this Survivor Series is going to be a Survivor Series we will never forget. And then he goes ahead and introduces the Authority, so Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They kiss up to Vince a bit, and Vince is like, alright, enough. And then he calls out, or brings out John Cena as well. And then, if it leads to pretty much him saying that he's got so much confidence in Stephanie and Triple H winning, that if they were to lose, that the only person that could bring them back to power, that will have the ability to, give them a contract for them to be in charge again, is going to be John Cena. And to that, John Cena smiles, and then John Cena says that since he's the only one that can bring them back to power, once he beats them tonight, there's no chance in hell that Triple H and Stephanie are going to get back in power. So then John Cena gets out of the ring, his music hits, and that was it for the first segment. After that, we get the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match, Gold and Stardust versus Miz and Mizdow and the Los Matadores and the Usos. Mizdow gets, most of the chants. The crowd is chanting Mizdow, and the crowd just wanted Mizdow in the match throughout the entire match. They were chanting for Mizdow, saying, "We want Mizdow," whenever somebody else was in the ring. And when Damien Mizdow would get in the ring, they would cheer. But when he got in the ring, he didn't get in the ring too long, because I think, I don't remember who, maybe Stardust or Goldust, somebody tagged themselves in once Damien Mizdow got in the ring. Or actually, it might have been the Matadors, I'm not sure. But anyways, the ending of the match takes place when they hit like a huge back suplex into a powerbomb. Basically, Goldust was trying to go for a back suplex on one of the Los Matadores, and then the other one gets inside the ring too, and he tries to go for a back suplex on Goldust, while Goldust is still setting up for a back suplex on the other Matadores, and then Stardust sees that, so he goes ahead and puts the Matadores that's trying to hit a back suplex on Goldust in a powerbomb position, and so he powerbombs that Matadores, who back suplex Goldust, who back suplex another Matadores. And then after all of that, one of the Usos gets in the ring. I think he tags himself in, and he hits the splash from the top turnbuckle on Goldust. But right before he jumped from that top turnbuckle, the Miz tagged himself in, so he got in the ring, and then Damien Mizdow tagged himself in, and Miz looked shocked. Mizdow goes ahead, and he covers Goldust and gets the 3 counts. So Miz and Damien Mizdow are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. That gets a pop, and the Miz goes ahead and grabs both Tag Team Championships, and he poses with them. Damien Mizdow mimics the Miz, but of course without the Tag Team titles, because Miz is holding both of them. And whenever the Miz raises up his hands, the crowd boos, and whenever Damien Mizdow raises up his hands, the crowd cheers. So they do that back and forth, crowd booing for the Miz whenever he's, raising up his hands, and cheering for Mizdow whenever he raises his hands. After that, there was a backstage segment with Adam Rose and the Bunny. They were playing like some new action figures, and Adam Rose tells the Bunny that, hey, since, without me you would be nothing, then, don't do anything and let me win this, I guess, action figure fight. And then Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil come up to them, and they make fun of Adam Rose and bring up how the Bunny is like taking Adam Rose's spotlight, and he's outshining Adam Rose. And then Adam Rose goes ahead and challenges them to a matchup, tag team match, him and the Bunny versus Titus O'Neil and Heath Slater. And then after that, we got the Divas Elimination Tag Team match, which was Natalya, Naomi, Alicia Fox, and Emma versus Paige, Summer Rae, Cameron, and Layla. And the match lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. Anyways, the first Diva eliminated in the matchup was Cameron, who got eliminated by Naomi. Naomi kind of rolled her up into a pin and got the win, or, got the pin over Cameron. And then after that, Alicia Fox eliminated Layla with a backbreaker, I believe. And then Emma eliminated Summer Rae with the Emma lock, and actually before she locked in the Emma lock on Summer Rae, and the reason behind Summer Rae losing or getting eliminated was kind of Paige's fault, because Summer Rae imitated Paige. She did Paige's knees on the apron to Emma, and then Paige didn't take too kindly to that. So once Summer Rae got sent to the outside, Paige called her an idiot, and then she grabbed Summer Rae and threw her back in the ring, and then that's when Emma capitalized on that and eventually blocked in the Emma lock, making Summer Rae tap out. So then it was all team members of Natalya's team, or Alicia Fox's team, against Paige, who was on her own. Paige was about to leave, but Emma went ahead and followed her, grabbed her, put her back in the ring. Naomi got tagged in. Naomi hit the rear view on Paige, and then she followed that up with her finisher, which is like a head scissors submission. Well, it's not a real submission. It's a head scissors type of move into like a driver, where she sent Paige's head to the mat, and then she covered Paige and got the win. And at some point in the match, Naomi went for the moonsault that she does, split-legged moonsault from the top turnbuckle. And when she did it, I think she did it on Paige. Paige got her knees up, but her knees hit Naomi's face instead of, Naomi's like gut. So I thought maybe she got injured there or something like that, but it doesn't look like she did. So anyways, yeah, Naomi gets the win for her team, and Team Alicia Fox, none of them get eliminated. And then once Team Alicia Fox is celebrating, Natalya goes ahead and she's celebrating on the top turnbuckle. Tyson Kidd, who was at ringside, he goes ahead, climbs the same turnbuckle, and he also celebrates, but he celebrates right in front of Natalya, so he blocks the camera's view of Natalya. And then following that, they show a video package for Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. And then, of course, Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt make their entrance for their match. And they have a pretty cool match. At some point, one of the spots I liked was Ambrose was going for like a top rope axe handle or something, but Bray Wyatt caught him in the side slam position. He was about to hit the side slam, but Ambrose got out of it, and then he rebounds off the ropes for his rebound clothesline. But then, once he comes back, Bray catches him in the side slam successfully this time. He covers him, but Ambrose kicks out, and then at some point later on, Bray hit a clothesline. It was a really stiff clothesline. I mean, it made a pretty big sound, and it was a nice clothesline, bottom line. And that clothesline, after that clothesline, Ambrose rolled out the ring, and then Bray Wyatt followed him on the outside, and he actually hit the side slam once again, but this time on the steel steps. And then he put Ambrose back in the ring, and Ambrose kept kicking out. So then Bray Wyatt didn't know what to do. He goes ahead, gets out of the ring, grabs a microphone, and he's like, why do you have to, be this way? Why do you have to make it be this way? Together we could rule the world, this and that. And then he goes ahead and hits Ambrose with the microphone, but he doesn't get disqualified. So anyways, yeah, he hits him with the microphone in the head, doesn't get disqualified. And then he grabs a couple of steel chairs from under the ring, puts it in the ring, or puts them in the ring. And he's about to hit Ambrose with this chair, but Ambrose gets up quickly and he grabs the chair before Bray could grab the chair. And then Bray's like, come on, hit me, like he did to Cena at WrestleMania. And Ambrose actually does hit him. He hits him with the chair, and, the referee was warning him. He's like, don't do it, disqualify you. But anyways, he hits Bray with the chair. And this time, there's a disqualification, so Bray wins by DQ. And then he hits him in the back with the chair, and then he puts the chair down, and he hits Dirty Deeds, the DDT, onto the chair. And then he goes ahead, grabs a bunch of other chairs. He grabs the table first, puts Bray Wyatt on the table, and then hits a top rope elbow onto Bray through the table. And then he goes ahead, grabs a bunch of steel chairs. He grabs a table, he throws the table on Bray Wyatt, he throws the steel chairs onto the table on Bray Wyatt, basically stacking a bunch of stuff onto Bray, and then he grabs a ladder, and I'm thinking, whoa, what's he going to do? Is he going to jump on Bray? But he sets up the ladder, and he just climbs up the ladder, and that was it. So anyways, that was it for the Bray Wyatt and Ambrose match. I thought it was a pretty entertaining matchup, but, when he pulled out that ladder, I was, wondering maybe he'd jump from the ladder onto Bray or something, but he didn't. And then after that, we get a backstage segment with Triple H and Stephanie hyping up, their team. Triple H, praising his team, saying that he wouldn't want anybody else in his team. And then he talks about the importance of them winning, and if they don't win, it's gonna be a living hell for them in the WWE if they're a champion. He's talking to Rusev. He tells him, if you're a champion, if we're no longer in charge, then you might not be champion for a very long time. And then he says, and if you're not a champion, then you might never be a champion. And then they end up hyping up the team by starting a fight chant between them. And the funniest thing in that segment to me was when the camera pointed a bit down, and I saw that Rusev was wearing sandals. I don't know why, or flip-flops. I don't know why, but for some reason, I kind of got a laugh out of that. So, after that, it was Adam Rose and the Bunny versus Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. And I was actually thinking Adam Rose, I was actually thinking that Titus O'Neil and Heath Slater would win the match, but surprisingly, Adam Rose and the Bunny won. The Bunny won the match for the team after a missile dropkick, and Adam Rose, it looked like he wanted to get tagged in the end, but of course, the Bunny got the win for himself. And then after that, we get a Roman Reigns interview. He's not at the arena, but he's like on a Titantron via satellite. And it's Michael Cole interviewing him, and also JBL. JBL's asking questions. Roman Reigns says that if he were there, he'd be cocking this here fist and make it rain in that bitch. He actually said bitch. And they ask him a couple more questions, and then eventually Reigns says that a month from now, he's going to be there because he's going to be recovered. So pretty much, he ends a promo by saying he can believe that. And then following that, we get John Cena and his team. And it was pretty much like the same as the Triple H segment or, Team Authority segment backstage. Except this time, of course, it was, Cena's team getting hyped up. Talking about how they have to win, and Cena says he's going to do whatever it takes for this team, so they don't get fired. Same with Dolph and all that. They're on the same page, and then John Cena says, so there's only one thing left to do, and then Rowan, who was sitting down and playing with a Rubik's Cube, he gets up, takes off his mask, and says, win. And then Cena's like, yeah, and then he taps him on the back. And then after that, we get the Divas Championship match, AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella, and this was surprisingly very short, and I mean very short. It was a couple seconds. It didn't last too long. What happened was, bell rings, and then once the bell rings, before they could even fight or hit each other or anything, Brie Bella goes ahead and gets on the apron with AJ's Divas Championship on her shoulder. So AJ sees that, and then she goes ahead right in front of Brie and tries to take her championship back. And by the way, this is after the bell rung. She tries to take her championship back from Brie, and then Brie grabs AJ and she kisses her. And then AJ's like, what? What was that? And then once she turns around, Nikki Bella hits her with a forearm, and then she picks her up, hits her with the rack attack, covers her, and that's it. Nikki Bella is the new WWE Divas Champion. And the weird part is, Brie Bella was smiling when Nikki won the matchup. She goes ahead, grabs the championship. Well, she already had the championship. And she hands it to Nikki, and she's all smiles. And they even point that out on commentary. So I'm thinking maybe, tomorrow they reveal, this was their plan all along or something like that. That, it was all for Nikki Bella or, Nikki and Brie to win the Divas Championship. I'm not sure. That's what I'm thinking. Or maybe she's just happy because Nikki Bella told her maybe if you did that, then you're going to no longer be my personal assistant, soon or something like that. Because I think she's supposed to stop being her personal assistant the night after Raw. So maybe she told her, if you do that, then you're no longer my personal assistant starting Monday night, and I'll even give you a title shot. So I'm thinking it's either, is their plan all along, or that option number 2. Who knows? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So, after that, it was time for the main event, the tag team match, or the traditional elimination tag team match, Team Cena versus Team Authority, and what a main event this was. It was a great main event. It was a really entertaining main event, and it started off in a pretty entertaining way, in a pretty funny way as well. So, like Triple H was hyping up his team in the backstage, once the match begins, and even during their entrances, Triple H was standing on the stage and hyping them all up when they were making their way, down the ring. And then once they're in the ring, referee rings the bell and all that, Mark Henry's the first one. Mark Henry is the first legal man. He's the first one that's going to compete. And so Triple H is on the apron, hyping up Mark Henry, come on, let's go, destroy them, this and that. And Mark Henry, he's all hyped up. He's yelling at the other team. He's like, I'm going to kick you. By the way, Big Show was the legal man for Team Cena. He's like, I'm going to kick your ass, pointing at the Big Show. And then he says, and then I'm going to kick your ass, pointing at, I think, Dolph Ziggler. And then he talks to Triple H some more. And then he says, and then I'm going to kick your ass, pointing to John Cena. And I'm like, me too, I'm like, damn, this is, I want to see Mark Henry kick some ass. So then right after he stops talking to Triple H, the second time, he goes ahead, turns around, he's like charging towards the Big Show, and Big Show just hits the knockout punch, covers him, and Mark Henry is eliminated. Henry gets eliminated after only one move, the KO punch, the WMD, and that was unexpected. I expected Henry to, I don't know, at least get some offense in. He didn't eliminate anybody. He got eliminated right away. So Henry was the first guy out, and right away you could see, the Authority disappointed in that. And after that, I think the second elimination in the matchup, actually the second elimination was another surprising one. Try to guess who it was, guys. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, time's up. The second elimination was Ryback. That's right, Ryback got eliminated second. I was expecting Ryback to be one of the, last survivors in the matchup, but no, he gets eliminated second by Rusev, actually. Ryback was about to hit the shell shock on Rusev, but Rusev got out of it, and once he got out of it, everything really got out of control. Everybody, got in the ring. They started fighting, and so the referee was looking everywhere at everybody fighting, and then they take it to the outside and all that, and the referee's obviously preoccupied with everybody fighting everywhere, except for Ryback and Rusev, who are in the ring, and Seth Rollins, he sneaks inside the ring while the referee's looking, and goes ahead, hits the curb stomp on Ryback, then gets out of the ring so that before the referee could turn around and see him, and then Rusev gets up, and Ryback gets up. Ryback got up shortly after the curb stomp, and Rusev followed it up with a super kick, covered Ryback, and got the 3 count. So Rusev eliminates Ryback. I'm thinking that's like a teaser for a future Ryback versus Rusev match, with the way Ryback was about to, beat Rusev, and Rusev eliminating Ryback. And I think this is the first time we saw Rusev not only score a victory with a pin, but actually attempt a pin, because you never see Rusev attempt a pin in any other match. Every one of his matches since, debuting on the main roster, he's never went for a pin. He's never attempted a pin. It's always been, the submission or nothing. So anyways, Ryback is eliminated. After that, it was Ziggler and Rusev as the 2 legal men. And Ziggler hit a jumping DDT on Rusev. He goes for the cover, and once again, all hell breaks loose. Luke Harper goes ahead. He breaks up the pin. John Cena hits an attitude adjustment on Luke Harper. And then Kane gets in. He hits a chokeslam on John Cena. Big Show gets in. He hits a chokeslam on Kane. And then Rowan gets in the ring. So does Seth Rollins. Rowan goes ahead and tries a powerbomb on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, though, is punching Rowan while he's in the powerbomb position. So Rowan decides to throw Seth Rollins onto everybody else on the outside. And then Rusev goes ahead and does the same. He also powerbombs Ziggler to the outside onto everybody else. And then he goes on the outside too. He grabs Ziggler. He takes off the announcer's tabletop. He puts Ziggler on the announcer's table, the Spanish announcer's table. He climbs up on one of the other announcer's table. And then he charges Ziggler and tries to go for a splash on Ziggler through the announcer's table. But Ziggler gets out of the way. So Rusev just, goes through the table himself. He's out cold. And then the referee starts counting. And he's at the count of 9. Ziggler gets back in the ring. Rusev is still out. So Rusev gets eliminated by countout. Like I told you guys, Rusev would get eliminated via disqualification or countout. I think most of us expected that anyways. So it ended up being a countout. And yeah, Ziggler got back in the ring before the count of 10. So he is not eliminated. Ziggler then tags in John Cena. John Cena hits his shoulder tackles. And then eventually he hits the attitude adjustment on Kane. And it looks like he's about to, cover Kane, eliminate him. But before he can do that, once again, behind the referee's back, Seth Rollins hits another curb stomp on John Cena. And John Cena and Kane are both down. And then eventually, John Cena goes ahead and tags in Rowan. And Kane tags in Harper. So it's Rowan and Harper. They finally fight. Because in the beginning of the match, or towards the beginning, not in the very beginning, but at some point in the match, they teased Rowan and Harper fighting, but Harper went ahead and tagged in somebody else. I think he had tagged in Kane or Seth Rollins, one of the two. Anyways, so they start fighting it out, and, Rowan gets the advantage, but then Kane gets in at some point, and he tries a choke slam on Rowan, but Rowan powers out of it. He grabs Kane's arm, and he takes it off his throat, and then Seth Rollins, once again, he goes ahead and interferes. He hits a springboard knee onto Rowan, and that allows Luke Harper, who's still the legal man, to capitalize on that and hit the discus clothesline on Rowan, cover him, and eliminate him. So Rowan was out after that discus clothesline. And so then it was down to Ziggler, Cena, and the Big Show for Team Cena. And on Team Authority, it was down to Seth Rollins, Kane, and Luke Harper. And Ziggler was still out. He was still out on the outside, from, the attack from Rusev and all of that. So he wasn't on the apron, but he was still in the matchup. He was just down, on the floor. And so in the ring was Big Show and John Cena, who was slowly getting back up. And right in front of them was Seth Rollins, Luke Harper, and Kane. And so Big Show is staring at the other team, and Cena slowly getting up, and I'm expecting, them to fight it out, Big Show and Cena against the other guys. But once Cena gets up to his feet, Big Show goes ahead and KOs John Cena. And then this is where one of the big surprises happened. Well, one of the surprises was Big Show KOing John Cena, turning heel for... I don't know how many times has Big Show turned heel and face. He switched a bunch of times. But so Cena's knocked out, and Seth Rollins goes ahead and covers Cena and gets the win, or eliminates Cena. So that was a big surprise there. Cena getting eliminated, and the match is not over. I was fully expecting also Cena to be the last survivor. So Cena's eliminated, and now there's Ziggler left and the Big Show. But obviously Big Show is not on Team Cena anymore because he just knocked out Cena. So I'm not, envisioning Big Show, continuing fighting for Team Cena. And he goes ahead and shakes Triple H's hand. And on commentary, they go ahead and say, oh, it looked like, Big Show saw that, his teammates were getting eliminated. So he went ahead and, sided with Team Authority so that he doesn't get fired if, Team Cena loses. Or at least, that's what it seemed like. But anyways, Big Show goes ahead, gets out of the ring, and leaves. So basically, he gets himself counted out. And thus, the last guy on Team Cena is Ziggler. And this is where it gets really cool. And this is where I really got excited in the matchup. And I was like, oh, because even though it's down to only Ziggler, I was like, okay, I think Team Cena's going to win, and this is going to be awesome, because Ziggler is the sole survivor. He's the last guy. This is going to make Ziggler into a star right now. So Kane goes ahead, gets on the outside, he grabs Ziggler, throws him onto the barricade, and then he grabs him back and puts him in the ring. They start beating up on Ziggler, they tag each other in and all of that. Eventually Kane starts working on Ziggler some more. And then Ziggler goes ahead and hits the zigzag on Kane and eliminates him. So Kane is out, and it's now Ziggler versus Luke Harper and Seth Rollins. And then Luke Harper, he starts beating up on Ziggler. It looks like he's about to, prepare for the discus clothesline. But out of nowhere, Ziggler rolls up Luke Harper and gets the 3 count. So it's down to Ziggler and Seth Rollins. They're the last 2 guys remaining. And once it's down to Seth Rollins and Ziggler actually gets the advantage, and he hits the zigzag on Seth Rollins. Goes for the cover. Referee starts counting. At the count of 2, Triple H drags the referee out of the ring, and then he goes ahead and punches the referee. And then Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury get in the ring. They start attacking Ziggler, but Ziggler gets the better of them. He goes ahead, super kicks Jamie Noble. I think he also super kicked Joey Mercury, and then he threw him out of the ring, and one of them bumped into Stephanie, who fell onto Triple H. And then Ziggler and Seth Rollins go ahead and start fighting once again once, Seth Rollins gets back up. Seth Rollins hits the powerbomb in the corner, and then it looks like he's about to hit the curb stomp, but Ziggler dodges it, and then he follows it up with another zigzag. So He covers Seth Rollins once again, and basically he's got Seth Rollins beat for a second time, but there's no referee, and then a referee comes running down, but Triple H takes him out too. And then Triple H gets in the ring, he starts attacking Ziggler, starts punching him in the head, he clotheslines him, and then he follows it up with a pedigree, and then he places Seth Rollins on top of Ziggler, and the crowd is booing, and then he brings out a referee, and guess who it is? It's Scott Armstrong. He comes running down the ring, gets in the ring, but then the lights go out, and we see a video of Sting on a Titantron, and then Sting comes out, and he walks down the ramp, and then for some reason Scott Armstrong, who was in the ring and he was counting for the matchup, he stopped at the count of 2 when the Sting video appeared on Titantron. For some reason he gets out of the ring. I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to beat up Sting? Anyways, Sting punches Scott Armstrong, and then he gets in the ring, and then he has a long stare down with Triple H, and the crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome, this is awesome." They have a stare down for a while, with Triple H looking confused at why Sting's there. And then he goes ahead and tries to punch Sting, but Sting counters it, and he sets him up for the Scorpion Death Drop, and he hits it, crowd cheers, and then he grabs Dolph Ziggler, and he puts Dolph's arm, over Seth Rollins. He gets out of the ring, and then the referee that Triple H took out gets back in the ring, and he makes the count, 1, 2, 3, and Team Cena wins. Ziggler gets the last pinfall over Seth Rollins. Pretty cool win, pretty cool ending to the matchup. So yeah, Team Cena wins, and afterwards Ziggler celebrates, and then he gets on the stage, and John Cena comes back out. He hugs Ziggler, and then they go to the back. And then the Authority, or Stephanie McMahon, finally gets up, and she realizes what just happened, that they lost. And then she starts breaking down, she starts screaming, and the crowd is chanting na 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 na, a goodbye or whatever. And that's it for the show. Stephanie is losing it at the end of the show because they're no longer in charge, and that's it. Man, what a great main event. It was a cool main event. I was expecting Randy, though, to come out and give Dolph the win. I'd expect Sting to be the one to give, Team Cena the win, or, to help out Team Cena or even out the odds. So that was surprising. And judging from that stare down with Triple H, just Sting coming out there, and because of Sting and Ziggler, the Authority no longer being in charge, I think we might see Sting versus Triple H at WrestleMania. I could be wrong though. Maybe it's gonna be Sting versus Taker, but I strongly feel that after tonight, it definitely looks like it's gonna be Sting versus Triple H. Maybe next year we'll get Sting versus Taker. Who knows? But yeah, man. As far as highlights for tonight's show, really, the highlights, man. The major highlights were at the end of the show, the main event. How can you not say that was a highlight? Sting making his debut, his WWE debut, finally, after such a long time. He's never been in the WWE, and he finally makes his debut. That was cool. And, man, Ziggler, man, his performance tonight, him outlasting everybody, being the sole survivor of the team. He actually eliminated most of the superstars in the team. He eliminated Kane, eliminated Luke Harper, kind of eliminated Rusev. Rusev eliminated himself via countout. I don't know if it counts as Ziggler eliminating him or not. Maybe not, because Rusev was the one to take himself out. And, of course, he also took out Seth Rollins. So, 3 eliminations, 4 if you count Rusev. Mark Henry getting eliminated so fast, so quickly, that was not expected. Big Show turning heel, I didn't see that coming. But now both Big Show and Mark Henry are heels. So I guess that's the end for the Big Show and Henry feud. It didn't last too long. They had one match on Raw, which ended by DQ. And this encounter at Survivor Series, and that was it. I doubt, it's going to continue now, since they're both heels. And I'm thinking maybe at TLC it's going to be Big Show versus John Cena. They've had a bunch of matches. It looks like they're going to have another match at TLC because of Big Show KOing John Cena. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Awesome main event. Awesome debut for Sting. And Other highlights, man, Damien Mizdow and The Miz winning the tag team titles. That was cool. I'm happy that Damien Mizdow and Miz won the tag team titles. Should be entertaining. Golden Stardust, I know they just recently won the tag team titles, but their reign as champions really hasn't been entertaining to me. It's been mostly them just facing off against the Usos. It wasn't anything cool. It wasn't, I'm happy their reign is over. I'm happy Miz and Mizdow are the new tag team champions. I feel it's going to be a lot more entertaining with them as the champs than Golden Stardust. It's definitely going to lead, though, to Mizdow turning face and, eventually facing off against The Miz. And it's pretty cool, how the crowd is really behind Damien Mizdow. Throughout the entire tag team match, they were just behind Mizdow. Whenever somebody else was in the ring, they wanted Mizdow in the ring. I'm a big fan of Mizdow too, so, I understand. And also, the Divas Championship match, I'm thinking that's the shortest Divas Championship. No, is it? There might have been a shorter Divas Championship match. Did Jillian Hall, when she won the Divas Championship match, I think that was a really short match too. I'm not positive though. That might have been the shortest Divas Championship match, the Jillian Hall versus Melina one. Although that could have been a long match too. I really don't remember, but for some reason I'm associating that match with a short match. I don't know if it was or not. But no, maybe this Nikki Bella versus AJ Lee match was the shortest Divas Championship match yet. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or not. And also other highlights. Oh yeah, the Ambrose and Bray Wyatt match. I thought that was an entertaining matchup. It was a good match. It was like move after move. It was pretty action packed. There wasn't a lot of like downtime or sleeper holds or headlocks, chin locks. It was just clothesline, side slam, this and that, punching each other. It was pretty much a brawl. And, man, that clothesline Bray delivered, it looked like a pretty stiff clothesline. It was a nice clothesline. And I'm actually, not disappointed with the DQ because when it came to this match, both these guys really needed the win. Both Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. Ambrose hadn't won a pay-per-view match. He still hasn't won a pay-per-view match since the Shield split up. And even before, since the Shield split up. And Bray Wyatt, this is his first match back, since his return. And it's obvious they're trying to push Bray once again, but this time with him on his own. So, really, neither Ambrose or Bray could, afford a loss. But, this way, with the DQ, yes, Ambrose lost the match. He still hasn't won a match. But he didn't get pinned. He didn't, submit. And at the end of the day, he was the one standing tall. But also, Bray Wyatt was the one to win the match. Overall, I thought, this show was better than I thought. Or, not better than I thought, but better than I expected. They didn't have... Well, actually, I was going to say they didn't have as many matches as most of the other pay-per-views, but they did have, some unannounced matches. I didn't care at all, though, for the Adam Rose and the Bunny match. It's just something that I'm not into. I mean, I'm not into, like a bunny freaking wrestling or... It's just, I was not entertained by that. And, I could have done without that match. And when it comes to the Divas Championship match, the AJ Lee and Nikki Bella match, although that was a really short match, and I can't really rate a match like that, I thought that was interesting. The way, the match ended, the way Nikki Bella won the matchup with Brie, kissing AJ Lee, and then she's smiling with, because Nikki won, because that's got me interested in what happens tomorrow. Well, it's got me interested in the reasoning behind it. What? And I haven't been really interested in the Brie versus Nikki feud, but now I'm interested in finding out why is it that, Brie was all smiles when Nikki won the championship. Like I said, I think it's either option A or option, B that I told you guys about. Either this was their plan all along, or it's because Nikki Bella told Brie that if I win the Divas Championship, then I'll give you a title shot, or I'll give you a title shot and you're no longer my personal assistant like a day early or something like that. I guess we'll find out tomorrow. So anyways, overall, I thought this was a good show, better than I expected, an awesome main event. You know, I know a lot of people weren't really excited for the main event, but you know, this main event I think really delivered. So as far as a rating for Survivor Series, I'd give it a solid 8, maybe even 8.5 on 10. 8 to 8.5. I think really that main event really boosted up the rating, and also I'm really happy that Miz and Mizdow won the tag team championships, and Ambrose versus Rollins. I thought, not Ambrose versus Rollins, Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. I thought that was a great match, and I even like, you know, the after match, what they did after the match. Even though, kind of wish, you know, Ambrose would have jumped off the ladder since he brought out that big ladder, and also the Divas Championship match. It's got me interested in why Brie Bella, like I said, was all smiles. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, you can click that like button. Tomorrow, I'll resume the My Career episodes, so stay tuned for that. I'll be once again posting episodes every single day. And if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I post a bunch of WWE 2K15 gameplay as well as Supercard gameplay videos. And let me know, you know, what was your favorite match of the night and what's your rating? What rating would you give Survivor Series tonight? So with that said, I'm out, guys. See ya.